What's up creators, I hope you're doing well. The latest update for DaVinci Resolve is now live, version 20.2, and it comes with 4 fantastic and very powerful new tools. Now this is a bit of a lie because DaVinci Resolve 20.2 came out at the end of 2025. We're currently in the 20.3 version, but even so, the 4 elements that they added in the previous iteration are just fantastic, and maybe some of you guys are not aware of them. So let's get into them and see what they're all about. Number 1, this is something that we've been asking for years. DaVinci Resolve can now add rulers and guides into your clips so you can edit and compose your image as you want. If you play around with Photoshop, with DRAW or Illustrator, you know what rulers and guides are, but they're basically some guides that you can add into your clip so you can compose your image with different layers. So to activate them, you need to go into your menus, into view, select rulers first of all, and here we're going to select on. And now you can see that we have our rulers at the top and at the left. And of course, again, on the view, right beside it, we have guides and we can turn them on. And these guides are semi-intelligent. So as you can see, if I drag one from the ruler towards the right, you can see that in the center, there's a bit of stickiness to them, just adding a bit of help to find the middle point on our clip. And also in the vertical axis, here we can add them over here. I say that they're semi-automatic because right here, as you can see, I've imported a new image on top and they don't stick to the guides over here, so they're not acting completely intelligently like the ones in Photoshop or Illustrator. But even so, they can help to visualize your composition, and it's great that we have them. Maybe in the future they can update them so they're completely intelligent. The second one is a real game changer for anyone who's shooting talking headshots, maybe interviewing people or doing content creation, and it will literally save me hours of editing. It's called Ripple Delete Silence. As the name says, it will automatically detect silences between the times that you're talking and delete them so you don't have to go and do it manually. As an example, I have this timeline of my normal scenes for tutorials. So I have my audio track, I have my screen recording and my talking head. And as you can see, there's loads of gaps where I'm not talking, just pure silence. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I'm thinking about the next thing that I'm going to say, or maybe there's some noise outside and I'm waiting to pass. Even so, I have to go in manually, normally, and cut at the end when I'm not talking, cut at the start when I'm starting talking, and delete and repeat the process throughout my entire timeline. And this usually takes me hours of my day. Incredible. Sometimes it takes me 6 hours to edit a tutorial just because of this. Luckily for us, now we can automate this process. So what we need to do is first of all select all our clips that we want to be chopped up. And I like to go in and link the clips so they work in conjunction. And then I'm going to go up, go into clips, audio operations over here, and we have Ripple Delete Silence. We're going to click on it, and immediately you can notice how the program has selected the silences that it thinks are important to delete. But you guys can play around. The threshold is very important because here you can play around and help DaVinci Resolve determine what is silence and what is not. For example, you can drag it down, and as you can see, it starts considering small noises like this one. This is probably my mouse clicking as a noise and is not contemplating as something to be deleted. Even so, if you go a bit too much, you can start to consider some of your voice or your talking head a bit of a silence that needs to be deleted. So just make sure that the threshold is correct. And then you have pre-head and post-tail to determine how further before you start talking the cut is going to happen, or before or after. So here you can play around, maybe just give it a bit more width just to be sure. And then when you're happy, just revise your timeline, make sure you're not cutting anything important, and select remove. And as you can see, it also rippled the timeline, so there's no spaces or gaps where the silence used to be. So this is a great time saver, but as you can see, some things I repeated the phrase twice, so I would have to go in manually, clear my timeline out, and delete anything that is excessive. So it's not all the work, but still it's a huge time saver. Number 3 is something that doesn't really affect me all that much, not to this day, but DaVinci Resolve can now use and process ProRes. So if you're shooting high-end DJI drones, high-end cinema cameras, RED cameras, and you're shooting in ProRes, now you can edit your files in DaVinci Resolve as well. Now save the best for last. In DaVinci Resolve, you can now import and edit your Sony RAW photos. Yes, I'm talking about photo and not video. Now you can drag and drop all your Sony photos and edit them as if they were video with all the color grading tools, with all the plugins, with all the fusion effects. So how do we do it? Right here I have an ARW file, Sony RAW photo, jump into DaVinci Resolve, set it in my timeline, and there you have it. It's imported, and we can go ahead into our color grading and make use of all of the fantastic wonderful color grading tools that DaVinci Resolve has. So you can use the color wheels, you can use the tone curves over here, you can use the color warper, windows, fusion effects, anything that you want. Even you can use my C41 film emulation pack, just drag and drop, and here you have no trees applied into a photo, and there you have the effect. It's just fantastic. Now, the only downside that I found when importing a photo into DaVinci Resolve is that there is a slight tone shift and exposure shift in particular. So this is our photo in DaVinci Resolve, but if I open up the original file from my Finder, notice that there's slight shift in terms of exposure and also in terms of the saturation. You can play around with the RAW settings in this little button at the left over here. You can change the decoding using into clip, so you can manually change it. Here you can see the Kelvin and the tint, which in this image was shot. But here you can basically alter a bit of the exposure and compensate, or edit a bit of the detailing. For example, the highlight, just reduce them, pull up the saturation. And there's a lot of back and forth. You have to go back into your original file to see if they match. But you can basically just mitigate a bit of the shift that's happening in DaVinci Resolve. Now, this happens all the time. It doesn't matter which process you use to import your files. It doesn't matter which color space you're using. This is just something that is more akin to DaVinci Resolve because this isn't a program created for editing raw photos, but there is a possibility you can do it. So just a little mishap that you have to work with if you're choosing to edit your photos in this program. Now, to this day, I'm not sure if other raw photos from other camera brands are accepted into DaVinci Resolve. I don't know if Canon, Fujifilm, or Nikon images are accepted. You guys can play around, maybe you can tell me in the comments section down below. But if you're not able to import your raw photos, you can always import them as DNG files. So maybe you can shoot DNG, or maybe you can find a converter from raw photos into DNGs online. I know that Adobe has one, and just reconvert your photos into RAWs, and then you can import them into the program and edit them as well. So it would be interesting if Blackmagic releases a dedicated photo editing app similar to Lightroom, more competition, but with all the advanced color grading tools that DaVinci Resolve already has. So that's gonna be it for today, guys. Remember that if you want to watch my color grading videos, check the playlist that's appearing right here. Or if you want to support me, check out my shop over here. There you can find my personal presets, personal LUTs, or personal note trees that I use every single day to edit in a faster manner. And if you can support me by purchasing anything over there, I'll be very thankful. And if you can't, don't worry, guys, just like the video. I'm Tony Fuentes. Cheers to all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.